after the event, it's no matter whether they tell you it should or shouldn't have been a penalty. It's what you want on the day, and it's what you need on the day in particular games, because this game has been decided one way or the other by, in the end, not such great finishing by both teams when they had opportunities, but 2 decisions by a referee, and I thought one was right. And I didn't think the one against Andy Carroll was. I thought that was wrong. You
had a chat with Tony Pulis, I presume, after the game, as you normally would do. What a fantastic job he has done there.
Yeah, I think he brought a few players in January, and it made them that little bit better. And that resilience defensively has paid some dividends. And I think in the end, while they didn't score in open play yesterday, Puncheon, who'd scored 4 in 3 matches or 5, was that, you know, somebody gets in that spell. You know what I mean? We had Kevin Nolan do the same when we won 4 on the trot. Somebody hits a goal-running spell and you win football matches regularly then, like you mean. And it's how long you can keep that going. And we did 4 games on the trot. Tony's managed to manage 5 now.
That was a great run that West Ham went on. Daniel Banks has tweeted in saying, when you see the season with regards to our position and points, how do you consider it and how can we improve next season?
Well, it's been a tough season. I think that not getting off to as good a start as we did the season before made life difficult for us. And then when we run through the injury scenario, which was a really tough time, just getting the team on the field was getting a tough challenge. Never mind trying to get a result. And like I said, you know, keeping your players fit and particularly getting your front men fit and scoring goals. Carlton done it for a spell once we got him fit when he joined us, and Andy's scored a few. Kevin's got, but we haven't scored enough goals, Ben, really, with the chances we created. We can't complain about. We can complain about some of our defence. We can complain about that penalty, but we've had 13 clean sheets this year. You know what I mean? And that 13 clean sheets should have resulted in much more wins, and we let too many draws go through. So next season, it's about waiting till we're mathematically certainly safe, because we're not yet, and I think that the plans have to kick in as quick as we can and improve the team and the squad like everybody else.
I know we speak, Sam, a lot, and you understand the fans' frustration, don't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, all fans get frustrated, but, you know, I think that highs and lows in the game of football today are just exactly what it's all about, and the pressure on the game now has increased by the fact that there's less patience now than ever before, and when that rumbling started, you know, anybody who loses at the top 2 games on the trot who's supposed to be at the top, it's a disaster. If you lose 3 games on the trot like we've done, people are not very happy, especially when you've lost the last 2 back-to-back home games. But the differences are so small, you know, the differences in terms of winning or losing. Like I said, our last 2 home games, we've lost on 3 penalties. You know what I mean? It could have easily been so much different. But in the end, today is about winning football matches and trying to win them the right way, and about making sure you entertain your own fans and get them going home happy. And that's what we all try to achieve. And the opposition come and do different things, various different ways. Tony yesterday, we always knew we got 60, 66, 67% of possession yesterday, but we still lost. You know what I mean? So, you know, you've got to be careful about how you plan your teams. You've got to keep your players focused on trying to get the best out of them, and you've got to keep their belief up that they're going to go out and win football matches.
Lots of fans talking about what Cameron's saying, the frustration, and Joe Ashley saying the atmosphere is not great at the moment. My West Ham United talking about, how does Sam feel like he can win over the fans that aren't convinced with the on-field play at the moment?
I mean, that's one of the small minority. Like, you mean, I meet West Ham fans all over the place, been every day of the week, like you mean, and I take photos and sign autographs and continue to do so. You know, social media gives a small minority an opportunity to criticise. And when you find out, and I do a little bit of research, you find out that half of them that criticise haven't even been to the game. So, you know, the game is built around negativity.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing about it here, because we've got the biggest world brand in the world, and it's all like, what are the negative things about whatever you're doing?
Yeah,
It's always what's the bad. The bad's always sensationalised. The good, you know, is almost no news today.
Yeah.
So we have to overcome that, because we're paid to do that. We're paid to get out and focus and get results. And we're only second season in the Premier League. We've not been there for 5-6 years. We're only there for the second season. We're building a sustainable team to go into the new stadium by improving it year in and year out, done through good support by obviously the owners, which is us trying to rebuild a sustainable team to go into the Premier League, to stay in the Premier League, and then to go from, see how far you can get up the Premier League as you go on year in, year out. And then the critical times come every season when you're going to have to recruit and have to go and find the players that you need to get better, which is now the most difficult job in the job. But it's always been difficult, but it's more difficult now than ever before to recruit players that are good enough to play at this level consistently.
Kevin Dempsey said it's been a frustrating season, probably our best away form in the Premier League. We've been great away from home. Our home form hasn't been good, and it gets, what you were saying earlier, it gets quite predictable, quite one-dimensional. That seems to be from.
Well, you see, there's that word, home form. That's not true. Results, yes,
okay,
not
sorry.
form. Not form. You see, because you can play really, really well. You know, really, really well, and lose.
And lose, yeah.
And the fans are not really happy because you haven't won. I'm not just talking about West Ham fans, I'm talking about all fans.